Oh, just what we need to do, simply inject or put your JavaScript OpenLayer library or other libraries that you need. So in jQuery we needed an OpenLayer CSS files, and this is the standard structure that's you need. This is our the Google Maps APIs version 3, and then all the sensors and falls required, and then still so on and so forth. And all the JavaScript library that you need, OpenLayers and Google Maps JavaScript library, and OpenLayer CSS, standard CSS default. Just when you download the OpenLayer JavaScript library, automatically come to the play. And what we did, just like very simple functions in the script annotations, script node, and then you have a function init functions, and then we have the projection setup like new OpenLayer projections, very simple JavaScript programming. And then you have options variable var, and then you have projection value and meter scales, and you set it the resolutions, the meter resolution, and we set it like the central and the bounding box, how the bounding box look like. That's those who don't know how is the meanings. Bounding box means from top left top, and then bottom right points, how the area of your maps is located. That's called the bounding box. Maybe the bounding box for this case, like here, from here to here there's a bounding box. So this is called bounding box for the information. So we set the bounding box, and we set the maps options, and then we set here the maps, and then as a HTML page tags we call this maps and option setup, the where is map located. You see the we set the projections, we set the bounding box with the resolution of the maps, and then we set maps as a ID, as HTML ID, and the option of the maps. And then we call the very simple map mic, and this is a very simple OpenStreetMaps call, and add the maps into the your map layers. Add the layers, the OpenStreetMap layers into the your maps. So this is the projection transformations, very simple. 4326, the standard WGS 1984 projection system, spherical Mercator projection system, the meter is projection system. We transform the new projection system. This is the central coordinate points, like from the capital city Bangladesh. The central coordinate point, I mean the here maybe this point, the central coordinate point of your maps, where the map will be the focused. That's, I mean, the central coordinate points. And then this is the different type of maps. You have new open layers Google's, and then you label it like open layer, and Google hybrid, and then call the Google hybrid map and type it Google hybrid map, and so on. The hybrid map add to the your maps layer, add to the maps, and the Google satellite maps, and then Google street maps, Google satellite map. This is street map is by default from the Google. When you call the Google Maps API, its default is Google Street Maps. And if you don't need it anything to satellite map, hybrid map, or Terrain map, just don't use it, and it works automatically, just like simple Google Maps API. Or even though Google have some licensing process that's you need to be take care. If you have a more really hit into the Google Maps, then you have to pay the money for hitting the extra hitting them. But even though they have some free invoices, like you can make $200 free cost of hitting the Google Maps and calling the Google services to use it, those things together. That's this there. And this is one of the really most important part that I am trying to talking about with you. This is really most important. You see the variables, so UVSoftGroup major road networks, and we call it like here. So new open layers layer WMS, that I said we define the WMS layers into the Google, into the GeoServer communicating with the PostGIS database, and from the PostGIS database table it's build the WMS services. You see the layers. So this is the URL for the GeoServer, where is the GeoServer is running. So if I go to this URL, you can at least get the GeoServer should running. If I go the GeoServer, so let's see, it is what we expected. Let's see the GeoServer running. So I need to be give it the password. Password I forget it. Oh, okay, this is all still the default GeoServer. You see that I defined all the services that I need, and then all the communications. You see just you follow the previous screencast, you got a clear idea. The all different data store, and then all the layers, and then all the configurations. You can see the configuration and have the different sources of the data sources. At the moment I'm using something for GIS database, and even though some part of the application I use the shape files from the S3 shape files, and it's work automatically. That's we expected. So here the PostGIS database, you can just simply connect the database and build your services and so on and so forth. Just follow the screencast that we are looking for, that's you need, and then you see the visualization here. All the visualizations maybe somewhere, I don't know. This is Terrain maps. Let's see, I forget it. This is done by the previous last year. I did something, but I forget it. Let's see the which layer we are talking about. This is the UVSoftGroup, geospatials and roads networks. So let's go the roads, and then the roads, visualize. So second page, we can go the second page. Geospatial, I believe this one. So, and then this is the major road visualization, and this is the, I think so, this is the maps. That's how we try to visualize it. So this is the service call. You see the exactly the localhost 77 URL, GeoServer, and UVSoftGroup, Geospatial, WMS, and the bounding box and layer information that's we expected. So maybe you can see the information, also the additional informations where you click it, and specific informations from the your that's the things I need to customize in the web page. Even though we have a lot of possibility, you can directly write down the queries of the your server, and then so on so forth. That's I mean, so you can do like that's where. So that's I mean, so you define all the communication from the PostGIS database, build the services, and then after the service building or the configuration is done, and just use simple, very simple call of your URL, the service, where the service is located, how they install the your where is the service located. Just if the service is located in the USA or Canada, just you need to call just simply vary the host name and the deployment port number, and call the services from the USA and Canada, build your web application. It doesn't matter where it's coming. Just for simplicity, I have like local machines, so all the services running, and then it works properly. That's we expected. It doesn't matter where it is located, just you need to simply change the IP address, and then the port number and other things as it is simply same things is happening here. So okay, where we are, so we define the services from all the GIS database, connect with the GeoServer, and publish the WMS services, call the WMS services into the web pages. Okay, that's the thing I am missing, still missing, that I am talking about. So you need to start use GeoServer. Of course, you need to start GeoServer. Every communication is logged in here, GeoServer. So before you start the GeoServer, you see all the communication that we flagged it, we did it, all the flagged what we expected, what we need is these things. So it's properly designed and properly. You see the base URL. This is exactly where we putting the base URL, like HTTP localhost port number 777 and GeoServer and so on and so forth. And if I go to my source code, you see exactly the HTTP localhost and 777 GeoServer, WMS, and this is the road layers, and the transformation to a format image JPG, base URL false, visible false, and the road networks. Very simple. So this is on